My ex-best friend told me to just get over her sleeping with my boyfriend, so I made sure she learned the true meaning of those words. Catching them cheating was the worst thing I ever experienced, and yet she somehow made it even worse. When she told me to just get over it, I filed those words away. 6 months later, when I met her new church boy boyfriend, I made sure he'd never get over what she'd done. We were the kind of friends who had matching tattoos and synced periods, like a two-person cult minus the Kool-Aid. 8 years of sleepovers, shared Netflix passwords, and knowing each other's coffee orders by heart had bonded us completely. She had a key to my apartment, knew my ATM pin, and had held my hair back through food poisoning and bad breakups. Then Jake happened, and suddenly she was sampling my boyfriend like he was a Costco free sample. I found out the classic way when I walked into his apartment with Chinese takeout to surprise him after his work emergency. Her shoes sat by the door, and that stupidly expensive hearse she bought last month rested on the counter. I found them in his kitchen, where she was wearing his Columbia Law shirt that I'd bought him for Christmas after I was done crying. They admitted they'd been at it for over 3 months. 3 months of me venting to her about our relationship problems while she was actively creating them. We met at her apartment the next day, where she shifted from fake crying to irritation in record time. She said we were adults, and insisted these things happen, and that I was being so dramatic. When I wouldn't accept her half-assed apology, she actually rolled her eyes and delivered the 4 words that would destroy her. Just get over it. Those words hit differently when they come from someone who knows your dad left when you were 12 and you never got over it. This was someone who held you through your depression diagnosis, who knew getting over things wasn't in your DNA. I felt something snap inside me, clean and sharp like breaking a wishbone. She was still talking, saying something about emotional maturity and how Jake had been unhappy anyway, but I was already gone, already planning without knowing I was planning. They lasted 2 months before he cheated on her with someone from his gym. The irony was delicious. She cried to mutual friends and posted cryptic quotes about betrayal. I watched from a distance, patient as a snake. 6 months later, she had someone new named Michael, who was clean-cut and earnest, the kind of guy who probably had a favorite Bible verse. She plastered him all over Instagram with captions like, "Finally found a real man who knows loyalty." That's when I knew the universe was setting up my revenge. Me running into them at Target felt like destiny wearing a red polo. She went white when she saw me by the pillow section and grabbed Michael's arm like I might steal him. She quickly introduced me as her old college friend and tried to pull him away, but her boyfriend was a gentleman. Michael smiled and extended his hand with a firm handshake to greet me. I smiled back, and that's when I decided to use her own words to destroy the facade she'd built. Time to see if Michael could just get over it. I gushed about how nice it was to finally meet him while still holding his hand. I told him she'd said nothing about him, but I could see why since he was quite the upgrade from the last one. Her eyes went wide, silently begging me to stop. I laughed and told him to make sure she doesn't get bored, because that's what happened with Jake. Michael's confusion was beautiful to watch. I explained that Jake was actually my boyfriend, and that they had a thing for 3 months before I found out. I watched his face change with that dawning realization. She grabbed his arm, stammering about ancient history and misunderstandings. I continued examining a decorative pillow and mentioned how she said it wasn't a big deal, and actually told me to just get over it. I suggested that if she ever did it to him, maybe he could just get over it too. The silence was delicious, thick as honey. He pulled his arm away from her grip, slow and deliberate. He asked if she really slept with her best friend's boyfriend. She was frantic now, with words tumbling out about how it was different, how I was leaving out context, how she'd changed. I picked up a live, laugh, love sign and pretended to consider it while she unraveled. Michael's voice had gone cold when he asked if it was really for 3 months while she pretended to be her friend. She actually tried to grab me then, babbling about how I was ruining everything. I calmly set down the sign and told her I wasn't ruining anything because these things happen, and that we're adults. I said she was being dramatic. I looked at Michael and suggested he should just get over it since that's what she told me to do. He was already walking away when she screamed that she loved him. He said he couldn't get over this and that he wouldn't, without even turning around. The last thing I heard was her sobbing in the pillow aisle. She's dated 12 guys in 2 years since then, but every single one eventually learns the story because small towns have big mouths. They all say the same thing when they leave her: "I can't get over what you did."